We represent children and we militate and do advocacy in favor of early childhood to give children a voice.
There's lots of different ways to think about children. Thinking of them in terms of their rights is relatively new. But of course, since the UN Convention on the Rights of the Child of 1989, it's now been a globally accepted basis for trying to improve the conditions of children. A rights-based approach really goes beyond conventional images of doing good things for children and making sure they develop properly by saying this isn't just about adults, communities, society at large, governments should be making sure children have a good time and grow well. It's saying these children have an entitlement. Every individual child has an entitlement to be respected as an individual with rights to survival, development, and that governments, along with parents and communities, have an obligation to meet that child's rights. It's a different way of framing old principles in a way that puts the emphasis on the child as the subject. And also, of course, includes that important element of listening to what the child says, not just what adults think might be good for the child.
No, I don't believe there are universal rights of children. I think you can have a group of people have come to a meeting and establish rights of children, but they've established them. They weren't just discovering something that already existed. I don't think there are universal rights of children, and I say that based on my background and orientation as an anthropologist. I believe that what we consider the rights of children very much have to do with our understanding of what childhood is, and I believe that childhood is culturally constructed. Do we really want all the children of the world to be the same? Do we want them all to aspire to have the same thing? Do we want them all to act the same way, to feel the same things, to believe the same things? Would that be a successful outcome of the spreading of the rights of the children, or of one model of early childhood education? And I'd say no, that shouldn't be the goal.
I'm absolutely not advocating a universal childhood. And Joseph Tobin, and many other people like Joseph Tobin, are right to emphasize that childhood is socially constructed and culturally variable. But it also has to be recognized that there are limits to that variability, limits to that relativism. There's a point at which variability becomes disadvantage, in which diversity becomes exclusion. We also have to respect the fact that some ways of bringing up children are more valued in societies than others, and some ways of bringing up children will lead to different outcomes that might be more appropriate to the modern world in which children are growing up. And I think that is the difficult challenge that a cultural relativist position has to face. And a rights-based approach includes universal principles. One of those universal principles within the UN Convention is respect for cultural diversity. The rights-based approach concentrates specifically on children's entitlement to quality of experience now, not just because it will make them better people in the future, but because it's their right as a young person.